Hi guys, here I am again. I'm gonna do a wrap-up video for January and February since I couldn't do one for January. And I didn't read too many books in January, so now I have more. Comparing to other readers, I am kind of slow this year, but according to my challenge keeper on Goodreads, I'm on track. So I'm very excited that I'm managing to read books regularly. And so I hope I don't get late on my challenge like I did last year and it was crazy for me to keep up. But okay, let me talk about the books I read and what I thought about them. The first book I read was Die For Me by Amy Plum. It was 2 stars. What's 2 stars? What happened was, it started very good, the writing is very good, and I like the character, the main character. At the beginning she was very filled with grief, and I thought she was going to be depressive, but even through depression, it was not something hard for me to read. It was okay, she was a good character, she had a good spirit, and she was not unbearable. But what I didn't like about the book was kind of the romance. I didn't like the male protagonist at all. I think he was completely boring and not attractive. Whatever sweet things he would say to her, I wasn't thinking, wow, that's so cool. I was thinking, this guy's a loser. Didn't do it for me, this Vincent guy, but whatever. What really took the stars out for me, because it wasn't that bad, it was just bad. But what really made it bad was the ending, because it was totally not very exciting. It was kind of, I thought the characters were kind of dumb, to be honest with you. So yeah, here's me doing some very honest reviews on a negative review for you guys that I don't usually do. I don't know if I recommend this book because I'm not reading a sequel, but the writer is a very good writer. I would read another book by her, but not this series. Even though these creatures were kind of cool, I didn't think they were organized enough or were very intent on their task. That is, I'm not gonna say what it is, I think it would be a spoiler. But I think they're not very intent on their task since they think that abandoning this task is something completely normal and it's okay. So I was like, what do you mean it's okay? It's like your purpose is to do this thing for people and you're okay with just some of us just drop it. It was kind of yeah, I didn't like that. Stars was okay. It was not terribly bad, but it was not good. It was okay. The second book I read was Catching Fire. It was 4 stars. For Hunger Games, I had given 3, and this one was a lot better for me because there was a lot more talk of revolution, and there was a lot more interesting aspects to the politics of this world for me. But I didn't like it too much because of a thing. I don't know if there are people that I'm sure there are people that didn't read this book yet, so I'm not gonna say it. But there's a thing in this book that repeats itself from the first book, and I was not expecting that, and I was expecting that they would escape that possibility through the middle of it. But they went for it anyway, and it was so boring having to relive all that again. And the ending was phenomenal. The ending was, yes, was very good. So I really liked this book. It was 4 stars because it was good. What I have a problem with the series is with Katniss. I know she's supposed to be a heroine, and I don't know what happens in the third book because I didn't read yet. So you might think, oh, you don't know what you're talking about because she's a superhero. But for me, until now, I haven't seen in her a heroine type of person. She doesn't. She just incites revolution accidentally, and sorry, she wishes she didn't incite revolution. So I'm like, what the hell? Like, seriously, go for it. Like, she's so afraid all the time, and I wish she was more um, committed to changing things. I'm sure that it could all change in the third book, but I'm sure it could also not. So I don't know what the hell is going to happen on the third book. I'll read it and I don't know. But it was 4 stars. It's a lot better than the first book for me. Third book I read was Where I Belong by Gwendolyn Hazley. Maybe. Okay, this book was phenomenal for me. It was 5 stars. It was cute. And it was also like, I'm not gonna do synopsis of the books, guys. I'm sorry if I'm not doing synopsis, but I'm sure you guys can check on Goodreads, because when I watch videos of people that don't talk about the books, I check the Goodreads on anyway. So you can do that. So this book was super cute, and I really liked the messages in it, because this girl, which is kind of Gossip Girl style, she really starts like speaking like them and being all shallow and heartless to other people. And at the end, she discovers values of friendship and family, especially family. And it's very good to see her changing and being more open to new things and being more relaxed, really, just not caring so much about her looks and everything, and soul searching, really. So I really loved this book. I couldn't put it down. When I was not reading it, I was thinking about it and was wanting to know what was gonna happen. So I really recommend this if you like cute contemporary, because it's very good. 5 stars. Next book I read was The Girl Who Chased the Moon by Sarah Edison Allen, and I have read 2 other books by her, Garden Spells, which I loved, and The Sugar Queen, which I didn't like so much. So I was kind of reluctant to read this, and I didn't know if I was gonna like it. But it turned out that I liked this one better than the other 2. It was amazing. It was 5 stars. Loved it. Loved it. It was so magical, and there was something in the atmosphere of the city, the southern city, where these girls live. It's a girl and a woman. It mostly follows these 2, and they explore the relationship she had with her mother and her grandfather that she just met. And there's this story of this woman that is kind of dealing with things from the past, and yeah, I don't want to say things, but I don't want to spoil. But it was fantastic and full of these magical elements that Sarah Edison Allen puts in the story, those little details that just makes it delicious to read, guys. It's so sweet and really lovely. Lovely, guys. I really recommend Sarah Edison Allen books, especially this one, especially. Yeah. And I read the Alice in Wonderland visual companion. I know you're saying, this is not a book, you can count this in your challenge, but I'm counting. I'm cheating. This was good. This was fantastic, actually. What it says in this book is mostly the actors talking about the characters and each other. And there's also a part where they explain how the special effects was done, which was very cool to see how they filmed and then they digitally made parts of their bodies bigger, and how they did it. They digitalized their whole body sometimes. So it was very cool. 5 stars, lovely. The pictures totally make it worth it. It's amazing. Next book I read was Flipped by Gwendolyn Van Drennen. And I'm surely gonna read other books by her. I saw one that's called The Running Dream that I'm interested in seeing. This was lovely. 5 stars. One of my favorite books is on my favorite shelf now. It was amazing, guys. There is the story about these 2 kids that know each other since they were very little. They're neighbors. And it talks about the relationship they develop. Very difficult relationship, because the girl likes him immediately when she's very small. The boy just runs away from her. But aside from this romantic, cute plot, there's a lot of elements of a family and Julie there's a story that she has with a tree that I thought was so beautiful and so emotional when she starts to really grow up and realize that there's more to people and to situations and to things than first meets the eye, I guess. And it was very, very beautiful story. There's conflicts inside the families, and since this is a two-perspective book, I usually don't like several perspectives. It's very difficult for me to keep up. But this one was very good because the same scene would be revisited by the other character. But it was not good. It was not something dull and repetitive as you would imagine. It's completely different and it gives a better light to things. So, amazing book. Amazing, guys. And the movie is amazing too, if you guys want to see the movie first. Then I reread The Hobbit. I have this kind of goal for the year that is to reread some of my favorite books, and I started with The Hobbit. I read this book 11 years ago. I read this book 11 years ago. Like, when you're able to read a book like this, you're not very young. That's how you know you're getting old. When you say, oh my god, I read this book 11 years ago. But yeah, anyway, let's not think about that. And the movie's coming out in the year. Very excited for that. I keep track of all the news about it and the making of the production videos that Peter Jackson is putting up, so very cool. And I read it, and I totally have forgotten a lot of things about the story, and I was very glad to reread it because sometimes I imagine something was going to go a certain way. It went a completely different way that I remembered, which means I didn't remember at all the ending and stuff. But it was good because it was almost as if reading it fresh because it was totally new to me because I forgot everything. Yeah, read this book, guys. It's awesome. Next book I read was Abandoned by Meg Cabot. I decided to go with this one for the whole Hades Persephone retellings that happened a lot last year because I love Meg Cabot. It was good throughout mostly the whole book. It was very good read. I read this in one day, like from to back. I read it completely in one day. And it was amazing because only Meg Cabot can do that to me. I read it super fast and it's very engaging and the characters are very good and the story is very good. But this book was 3 stars for me because it was good, but I didn't like the ending. It was building up for something completely cool and creepy even. Some possessions and some furies involved, and I thought it was going to be super awesome finale. So yeah, I was expecting a very exciting ending, but the ending was just not good at all. Just like, seriously? Like, we went through the whole story, and I was expecting something to happen for a party and stuff, and we end like that? Not a word of this book mattered for anything, because the ending could have happened in the first 100 pages and would have been the same thing. The good thing about this book was just Meg Cabot writing, because the story completely disappointed me at the end. And then, going on with my rereads of favorites, I read The Invention of Hugo Cabret. I read this in October, so it was not very long ago, but I went to watch the movie, and I loved the movie. It was beautiful, guys. You should watch it. And I just wanted to start reading again, so I came home and I read it again. That was it, guys. That was my wrap up. So far I read 9. Yes, I think it's 9 books. So I'm reading The Girl That Played with Fire by Stieg Larsson. I love the first book, which is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. So I started this one, and I'm about this far in. Yeah. And it's very good so far. Lisbeth Salander is one of my favorite characters ever. She's so interesting. She's so amazing. And I'm loving her at the beginning of this book. So let's see how it goes. Yeah. Next one I'm reading is The Book Thief, and about this far in. It's very well written, it's a very entertaining writing style. At the beginning I was amazed by it, but now I have to confess that I'm finding it a bit slow and boring. So I hope it gets a bit more exciting. And since I want to read The Fault in Our Stars soon, I decided to read Looking for Alaska before that because I should. And I started it just yesterday, just a little bit in, and I'm liking it. John Green makes me laugh. I am also listening to Insatiable by Meg Cabot on audio, which I downloaded. So, but that is kind of slow because I don't get in the mood for audiobooks too often, so yeah. Those are the things I'm reading, guys. Um, that was a wrap up. I'll see you guys later in the next video. I think I'm gonna do a tag now. Yeah.